Good evening, pro wrestling fans. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, for this video, going to be reviewing the Impact Wrestling 1000th episode. That's right, it's in the books, and wanted to get on here and review Impact 1000. Now, it took place September 9th, but they're gonna air it in two parts. So they aired the first part this past Thursday, September 14th, and then they're gonna air the second part this coming Thursday, September 21st. So just a FYI. But, the event is in the books. But anyways, wanted to get on here and give my review. And I have to say, it was pretty memorable. It was definitely pretty memorable. It was good to see, the knockouts that return. It was good to see the beautiful people. It was good to see Awesome Kong and Raisha Saeed. It was good to see Tasha Steeles and Mickie James. It was good to see, of course, Giselle Shaw came out. Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, Trinity. That was really cool. Really cool to see. Gail Kim. So, it was good to see them. Shark Boy. Saw Shark Boy. America's Most Wanted. Wildcat Chris Harris. Cowboy James Storm. So, it was really cool seeing them. But yeah. Honestly, I thought this was a good episode. This was a really good episode. But yeah, let's get into the review, shall we? All right, let's get started with this first match. 1 second. Here we go. So they actually kicked off the Impact 1000 episode with the Feast or Fired match. That's right. They did a 20-man Feast or Fired match. Now, the way that this works, for those that have never heard or seen a Feast or Fired match, so 20 men, there are four briefcases suspended from the top of 4 pillars. The object of the match is to climb up, grab a briefcase, and then escape the ring with the briefcase, and therefore you win that case. So 20 men, 4 cases, which means there can only be 4 winners. But here's the thing, each case has a specific item inside. 3 of the cases have title shots in there. 1 for X Division, 1 for tag title, and another for the world title. But a 4th briefcase inside will have a pink slip, which means you're fired. So, henceforth, Feast or Fired. So, the 20 competitors ended up being Chris Bay, Alpha Bravo, Moose, Black Taurus, Crazy Steve, Yuya Uemura, Bhupinder Gujjar, Heath, Jay Vadal, Joe Hendry, Johnny Swinger, John Skyler, Kushida, Kevin Knight, Laredo Kid, PCO, Jonathan Gresham, Steve Maclin, and Sami Callihan. So those were your 20 men for this match. And it was a pretty chaotic match. The wrestlers pretty much fought inside the ring, outside the ring. I mean, it was just crazy, nonstop action, as expected when you have a 20-man match. But here are the 4 that captured briefcases. So Chris Bay got the first one. He got the number 3 case, so Chris Bay. Crazy Steve got the number 1 case. Yuya Uemura got the number 4 case, of course with some help from Joe Hendry. And then the last case, we thought Steve Maclin had it. He had it for a while, but then Rhino returned, gored Steve Maclin. The case went flying, went to Moose. So therefore, Moose got the final case, which was case number 2. So Chris Bay, Moose, Crazy Steve, and Yuya Uemura, those are your 4 winners that got briefcases. So 3 of them will get a title shot, but 1 of them will get the pink slip. That's how it works. But yeah, that's a Feast or Fired match. Okay, next up. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get my graphic. Here we go. Okay, next up, we had a tag team match where Team 3D, Bully Ray and Brother Devon, teaming up for the first time in 7 years, and they ended up taking on the Desi Hit Squad. Desi Hit Squad made up of Rohit, Raju, and Champagne Singh. Oh, and because I failed to mention it, this whole entire show took place at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. So just a FYI, I forgot to mention the venue, so I do apologize. Anyway, Team 3D back together again for this show, and you know, Desi Hit Squad talked a lot of junk on the mic before Team 3D came out. This match wasn't long. I think this match was barely 5 minutes, maybe a little less, but this match wasn't long. If anything, we got a chance to see, you know, some tag team action from 3D. Saw a couple of double team moves. We saw the what's up? We saw Devon pin Champagne Singh after Team 3D hit the 3D on him. Covered him for the 1, 2, 3. But they weren't done yet. Now, they did give the crowd what they want, courtesy of a table, and they ended up setting up Bully Ray to put Rohit Raju through a table. You know, the turnbuckle powerbomb to Rohit Raju. And there you go. Team 3D with the last laugh celebrating. But yeah, saw the West Side, a 3D, and we saw somebody get put through a table. I'd say mission accomplished for Team 3D. Quite a nice little return. Like I said, the match wasn't long. It was not a long match. It was maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But still, it was good to see Team 3D back in the house. So that was pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. Next up. Ooh. Oh, yes. So next up, they had another tag team match. This time, it was the team of Frankie Kazarian and Traci Brooks, husband and wife, taking on the husband and wife team of Eddie and Alisha Edwards. So this rivalry continues, and this was Traci Brooks. This was pretty much her first match back in a long time. So it was good to see her hit the ring once again. Overall, the match was all right. You know, I don't think it was too crazy, but the match was all right. I mean, could it have been better? Sure. But I felt like the ladies were showcased pretty well, especially Traci Brooks. I felt like she got to do a little something. For somebody that hasn't wrestled in a number of years, felt like Traci Brooks did a little something. So, you know what? I was pleased with how she did in this match. You know, I was pleased. But back and forth, this rivalry, was continuing to, brew more and more. And even though Eddie Edwards and Alisha Edwards, kind of had the upper hand from last time that these four met, this time Frankie Kazarian and Traci Brooks got the last laugh, as Traci was able to pin Alisha Edwards for the 1-2-3 after she hit her with Fade to Black. Same finisher that her husband Frankie Kazarian does. So Traci Brooks got the victory for her team. So that was pretty nice, having her pick up the win. But they weren't done. Afterwards, Frankie Kazarian got on the mic, directed everybody's attention to the big screen, showed a nice video package for Traci Brooks, and then got the big confirmation that Traci Brooks will be inducted into the TNA Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's right. Traci Brooks, one of the original knockouts, back when the knockouts became a thing. And now she's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Traci Brooks. That's really big. Really big. So very happy for her. Okay. Next up, and this match, this was a solid match. I tell you, this match was solid. This match was really solid. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the graphic for this, so FYI, I don't have the graphic for this, but we had the X Division Championship on the line. This was the run back, the big run back, as the champion Lio Rush defended against Chris Sabin. This was the rematch. So we have the opportunity for Chris Sabin to get some revenge. Now, I have to say, this match started off a little hot, as Lio Rush was able to get an early upper hand, take out Chris Sabin, and then hit Chris Sabin with that suicide dive that pretty much led to, his injury previously when Lio Rush won the title from him, pretty much squashed Sabin. But this time around would not be the same case. But these two went back and forth, and I think we ended up getting the match that we really have been looking for a long time. Because remember, Chris Sabin and Lio Rush, I believe it was Emergence, were supposed to pretty much, that was their first meeting against each other. But, of course, Sabin got squashed. But now, actually, no. Was it Slammiversary? It was Slammiversary, I think. I think it was Slammiversary. It was one of the two. But anyways, fact of the matter is, it was originally a squash. But now we were able to get the match that we really wanted to see. And these two definitely delivered. They delivered. Back and forth. I mean, it was even crazy seeing Lio Rush kick out of a cradle shock and Chris Sabin kick out of a final hour. And it was hype. It was really, really hype. These two are excellent wrestlers. I'm a fan of both. But when it was all said and done, Chris Sabin made history. That's right. After a 4-piece combo of a super kick, a Tanaka punch, a shell shock, and then finally a second cradle shock, puts away Lio Rush 1-2-3 And Chris Sabin, who was in the first episode of Impact Wrestling, of TNA Wrestling, has made history and become a 10-time X Division champion. Pretty much the king of the X Division. And some of the other wrestlers came out to celebrate with Chris Sabin, of course, including Alex Shelley. But yeah, Chris Sabin, now a 10-time X Division champion. So congratulations to him. Very well earned. I know it wasn't a long title run for Leo Rush, which part of that is kind of a bummer. But I can kind of see why they pulled the trigger on this. I mean, Chris Sabin, he's been there since the beginning, and just to see him hold the title for a 10th time, he's built quite a legacy, as much as, teaming up with Alex Shelley for the Motor City Machine Guns. He's done quite a lot as a singles wrestler as well. So it was really good to see that really, cap off with a 10th X Division championship. So congratulations to Chris Sabin. And like I said, I've met Chris Sabin before. Dude is amazing. Really cool to talk to. So yeah. And it was good to see everybody out there celebrating with him. So really cool to see. Before we continue forward, here's a quick word on the sponsor for this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves limited edition makeup collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty, let's continue on with the second half of Impact 1000. Okay, so we had our Ultimate X match where the winner would earn a future X Division Championship title shot. So the competitors for this Ultimate X match were Rich Swann, Samurai Del Sol, Ace Austin, Zachary Wentz, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Alan Angels. So we had 6 competitors for this Ultimate X match. And of course, Ultimate X, the usual, got to climb up, go across the ropes, grab the X, drop down to be declared the winner. Of course, this match went how it usually does. I mean, Ultimate X matches are very, high profile when it comes to Impact Wrestling. A lot of high flying, a lot of continuous action, and just multiple wrestlers going for that X, going across the ropes. So the action is pretty non-stop. And this was no different. And I definitely thought these were, a good 6 guys for this match. So very well deserving. And I like each of them. I definitely like each of them. But when it was all said and done, in a very surprising turnout, Alan Angels was the one to be able to grab the X, and then while others were starting to close in on him, he was able to fall to the mat in time with the X in his possession, and therefore Alan Angels is your winner of the Impact 1000 Ultimate X match, and therefore he will get his title shot against Chris Sabin. He's got a title shot owed to him. So, hey, congrats to Alan Angels. Hadn't been with Impact that long, but hey, he's got himself a title shot. So, we'll see what happens. Of course, Chris Sabin, just won back the X Division Championship. So, it'll be good to see how they clash, Alan Angels and Chris Sabin, when the time comes. Alrighty. Let's go into our next match. One second. Okay, here we go. Next match. We had ourselves a singles match. We had Jake Something versus Dirty Dongo. Of course, he was accompanied by Alpha Bravo. And the presentation that they had was like the old school Impact TNA presentation where they had the ticker going across the bottom of the screen. So I thought that was pretty cool. They did the old presentation. So that was pretty nice. Overall, I felt like Jake Something was pretty dominant in this match. I mean, Dirty Dongo had a little bit of something when it comes to offense. But for the most part, I felt like Jake Something was very dominant. And I actually recently got a chance to see Jake Something live through DPW Carolina Classic 2. But I did get a chance to see him for the first time back at New Japan and JPW Strong High Alert back in Charlotte last year. So I've gotten a nice dose of Jake Something. The dude is a beast. Dude is a beast. And he definitely showed that in this match and was able to pick up the victory over Dirty Dongo, hitting him with Into the Void and then pinning him for the 1-2-3. So Jake Something, making a statement on Impact 1000, picking up the victory. Somebody to keep an eye on. Definitely keep an eye on Jake Something. The dude is great. Dude is a beast. Keep an eye on him. All right. This next match, this is when things really started to go down south. So check this out. So we were supposed to have a singles match. Eric Young versus Kenny King. That's how this started, okay? This was the original plan. So about 15 or so seconds into this match, Sheldon Jean, this is like after the bell has rang and everything, 15 seconds later, Sheldon Jean comes into the ring and attacks Eric Young from behind. Instant disqualification. Okay. Shark Boy, who was the resident guy in charge, the resident commissioner or whatever for this episode. So he decided to restart the match and turn this into a tag team match. Kenny King and Sheldon Jean versus Scott D'Amore and Eric Young. Okay? Okay. So, bam. We got ourselves a tag team match. Then, that match started. And not that long after that match started, here comes Diener and Khan from the design. And they attack Eric Young. Another disqualification. And then, Shark Boy once again, changing things up, restarted the match, and this time we would have ourselves an 8-man tag team match where we had Kenny King, Sheldon Jean, and the design, Diener and Khan, taking on the team of Scott D'Amore, Eric Young, and the returning America's Most Wanted. That's right, Wildcat Chris Harris, Cowboy James Storm. So this turned into an 8-man tag team match. And then we got ourselves the legit match. And then it was pretty good. I really hate that it had to come down to this like it did. Like, they could have just booked the match like this in the first place. I mean, I understand after one DQ and it turning into a different match. But twice? That's ridiculous. So, I didn't like the way they did that. But once it got to the 8-man tag team match, it was cool. Eric Young got the pin for his team after hitting Sheldon Jean with a pile driver and then pinning him for the 1-2-3. So, yeah, Team Canada and AMW standing side by side with the victory in this 8-man tag match. So I guess you could say Eric Young got 3 straight victories because, the first 2 were DQ victories. So 3 wins in a row in one night for Eric Young. Can you believe it? So, but it was freaking stupid. But, it's whatever. Okay. So, then they had the segment, Feast or Fired, the briefcase opening ceremony. Now, just a recap. Crazy Steve got case number 1. Moose got case number 2. Chris Bay got case number 3. And Yuya Uemura got case number 4. So, just to go over, 3 of the cases have a championship title shot. One of them being for the world title, the other being for the tag titles, and then the last one being actually for the digital media title. And then the 4th briefcase, pink slip. So, it went down like this. Each one opened up their briefcases in numerical order. So Crazy Steve opened his up. He got the digital media title shot. So Crazy Steve has a future digital media championship opportunity. Next up was Moose. He opened his briefcase and he actually gets the Impact World Championship title shot. So he gets a future shot at that. Chris Bay opens up case number 3. And it's the Impact World Tag Team title shot. So him and Chris Bay, ABC, have a future tag title opportunity, which, by process of elimination, means Yuya Uemura got the pink slip. 1 second. What the heck? Didn't have my notifications still on. Sorry about that. Yuya Uemura, unfortunately, got the pink slip. Got the "you're fired" briefcase. And it's really unfortunate because he hadn't been in Impact that long and he was forming quite a bond with Joe Hendry. They just formed that tag team. So Yuya Uemura, fired. They're going to have a goodbye ceremony for him apparently next week. But my guess is, if you ask me, I'm guessing it just means that his excursion in the U.S. is pretty much over, and I guess he's gonna go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's what I'm thinking. I got a chance to meet Yuya Uemura through DPW, actually Carolina Classic last year. Yeah, sure did. So, got a chance to meet him, see him wrestle live. Really cool. So yeah, hope for the best for Yuya Uemura, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I am totally okay with, you know? Cool deal. Okay. Back to some matches. All right. Next match. So this was originally supposed to be Alex Shelley versus Trey Miguel. I don't know exactly why it was switched up. I have no idea why it was switched up. But now it became Josh Alexander versus Trey Miguel. But yeah, originally it was supposed to be Shelley versus Trey Miguel. But anyway, this was a solid match. Definitely a solid match. A great clash of styles between these two competitors. It went back and forth. Really like what I saw out of both Trey and Alexander. There was a point where Zachary Wentz tried to get involved, but Alex Shelley was there to pretty much even the odds, and it gave enough of an opening for Josh Alexander to eventually hit Trey Miguel with that C4 spike and then pin him for the 1-2-3. So Josh Alexander is your winner. And had a segment, Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley again. This time, Josh Alexander is declaring his shot at the Impact World Championship for Bound for Glory, which I believe is October 21st. October 21st, I believe. So, yeah, we're going to get Shelley and Alexander at Bound for Glory for the title. Should be great. Remember, the title, Josh Alexander never lost. So keep that in mind. But I think this was definitely the showdown we were waiting for. Remember, the last time these two faced each other one-on-one, Josh Alexander beat Alex Shelley. So, here we go again. Totally looking forward to that. Alrighty. And then the main event of Impact 1000. Now I know this is the older graphic, but we do have the updated names. So, the main event came down to a 10 knockout tag match. Team number 1, we ended up having Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, Jordan Grace, Trinity, and the hidden one ended up being Hardcore Country, Mickie James. So those are the 5 from team number 1, and they took on team number 2, which was Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, Angelina Love, Deonna Purrazzo, and the hidden one ended up being Tasha Steelz. So that was the 5 from team number 2. So yeah, you had a good solid turnout here. Of course, team number 1 was accompanied by Raisha Saeed. Team number 2 was accompanied by Velvet Sky and Jay Vidal. But this was a great match overall. I really felt all the knockouts were showcased. The only big bummer was that, unfortunately, Gail Kim suffered a concussion in this match when she was dropped off the apron. She legit landed like body hit the ground, head bounced off the ground. Like, it didn't look good. It didn't look good. I saw the spot. They caught the spot on TV, but Some of the other posts, like on social media, uploaded videos of the spot at a better angle. It didn't look good. It didn't look good. So hopefully Gail Kim will be okay. I think she tweeted that she is okay, but yeah, suffered a concussion. But Gail Kim, I gotta say, she took a lot of punishment in this match for this being her match out of retirement. You know, of course, for one night only. She took a lot of offense in this match. So, gotta give it up for the Hall of Famer. She took a lot of offense in this match. But yeah, everybody was showcased really well. And of course, with Awesome Kong, you didn't really see her until, you know, last, which is understandable. Because as soon as she got into the ring, she cleared house. Had a good showdown between her and Savannah Evans as well. I mean, both are kind of similar in size, almost. But yeah, you know, I think when it came down to it, even though team number one got the win, Awesome Kong hit Giselle Shaw with the implant buster and then pinned her for the 1-2-3. I think regardless of which team won, I felt like all the knockouts were showcased really well in this match. And totally understand why this was the main event. So, definitely liked what I saw. Like I said, it was unfortunate what happened with Gail Kim. Thankfully, she was able to continue and finish the match. So, kudos to her for her fighting spirit and her will to continue on. Because I would have understood if she had to drop out. But that's Gail Kim for you. That's my GOAT. But overall, this was a good match. Aside from that, this was a good match. And, you know, Trinity, Mickie James, Jordynne Grace, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, standing tall in victory at the end. And, you know, this was just a nice way to end the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling. So great job, ladies. And, of course, I have to mention at the end, Jay Vadal eating a Botox injection from Angelina Love. And, of course, Velvet Sky put the bag over his head. So that was pretty funny. But overall, this was a pretty good 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling. This was pretty good. But yeah, I was definitely digging it. But that'll do it for this review of Impact 1000. Don't forget to check out the link in the description for Game Beauty. And let me know what y'all thought. What did y'all think of the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling? What did you think of the card? What did you think of the matches? Let me know what your thoughts are. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Laters.